The claws from the wraith drag across the floor as they charge at Iris. "If you don't yield, I will slowly eat you," one of the wraiths say with his tongue out, anticipating a delicious meal soon. Kim Dokcha charges up Iris's sword, making it glow a bright blue. She does a big swing, unfortunately, not hitting anything or anyone in the process. One of the wraiths get their weapon ready, and Iris just barely jumps out the way in time. One of them tease Kim Dokcha a little bit, calling him slow, as he is only barely able to dodge their attacks. "Do try you best to entertain us old monsters here," the other one says. "The harder you try, the tastier you are going to be when we all gobble you up." Kim dodges another attack, wondering to himself why it is so incredibly hard to move in the body he is currently in. "It's because this is my first time possessing a child's body," he wonders to himself. As Iris looks around, all she can see is hungry wraiths looking back at her. "This is just unfair," he thinks to himself. "Don't you dare look down on me. After all, I am as well a constellation." We get a few message pop-ups, telling us that some of his fables have begun telling another story in response to the situation. The volcano starts to boil over, as a message pops up for everyone, announcing that the historical grade fable, the Gourmet Association Heretic, is rebelling against the surrounding oppression. The last message window reveals to everyone that Kim Dokcha, or the Shadow King of Redemption, is responding to the incarnation, Iris, and her situation. After this new information of a new fable being told, Kim Dokcha is now able to release the status of a constellation. All of the wraiths are originally constellations. However, to make the sub-scenario more entertaining, their power is limited to only 10% of their original body. So, although Kim Dokcha is a constellation, after using the skill, Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint to use Iris's body, he was able to bypass the debuffer since he wasn't descending, as the other wraiths did. The other wraiths look in horror as they look at Iris, thinking that her massive power output is only 10%. When in reality, it is around 90%. How could a newcomer possess this much status? One of the wraiths scream out in fear. "Is this really their descended state?" another wraith asks. Kim Dokcha says to Iris that they need to use this opportunity of tricking the wraiths into thinking that he can only using 10% of his power has the advantage to overpower the wraiths. "Either die or get lost, choose your option," the wraiths shout. "You cheeky bastard, the star stream really is vast. Where did such a being like you come from?" The hungriest wraith laughs out aloud. "What a magnificent dish," he says, as he starts dashing towards his meal with full force. "Today's Gourmet Association festival is the best," he screams, opening his jaw for his food. Kim is able to narrowly dodge the attack again, but this time, the wraith is able to leave a tiny scratch mark on Iris's face. In retaliation, while the wraith is still in the motion of attacking, Kim runs to the wraith's side, attempting to slice the wraith open. But when he looks back, Kim Dokcha sees that his attack did 0 damage. "Sorry, I'm just absolutely terrible at swordsmanship," the real Iris says while in her ghost form. "Dang it," Kim thinks. "So that's why my movements have been so sluggish." Allowing him no time to rest, another wraith slashes in Iris's direction. She is able to duck just in time though. Straight after that, another wraith jumps on top of her. The wraith swings their claw down on Kim Dokcha, going for the kill. As if time stops, we can see the claw just millimeters away from her eye. The claw makes her pupils look as if they were a bright orange with a black outline. She dips her head in a split second, allowing him to fall down, away from the trajectory of the claw. "Isn't this strange?" the wraith says out loud while maintaining eye contact with Kim Dokcha. "I see now, the only thing high is your status. You are nothing but a phony," the one wraith says. After hearing this, the other wraiths get their confidence back, as it was previously destroyed when they thought Iris's 100% power output was only 10% of her true power. "Get her!" they all scream, "just don't get grazed by the sword." We then can see Iris getting absolutely destroyed by the wraiths, taking hit after hit. The hungry wraith lunges, pulling his hand out, managing to grab poor Iris in his clutches. Kim Dokcha screams from the pain, as his insides are being squeezed together tightly. "Seems like luck wasn't on your side, newcomer," the wraith teasingly says as Iris struggles to free herself from the suffocating grip of the wraith. We can see Kim Dokcha and Iris's body on the broadcast screen in the Gourmet Association Hall. We can see Anna Croft, Persephone, and the mass-produced Maker watching intently. As Kim starts to understand the severity of his situation, he tries to think of another plan. "I want to use electrification. I don't know if this body will be able to withstand it, but I have no other choice." Kim meekly utters the words, "I activate the fifth bookmark." However, unfortunately for him, message pop-ups appear, basically telling him that the skill is not suitable for the character he is using and is unable to proceed with his request. The usage of the exclusive skill, electrification, has been cancelled. After reading that message, it dawns on Kim Dokcha that he might actually die. To think that the slim chance of an inclusive skill not working would be right now, in a life-or-death scenario, he thinks to himself, still in the clutches of the Wraith. "Is this your last act of futile desperation? Very well, give it a try," the Wraith says, intimidatingly. Suddenly, Kim's thought process is exponentially accelerated due to the effect of the attribute. He starts thinking of all the powerful people he has talked to and encountered over the past months. "I need to find a solution, otherwise I'm dead," he reminds himself. His eyes grow wide when he remembers a certain skill that he wasn't able to use because he was a male. He shakily says out loud, "I will release Knight of Revolution Mark Javier from the 6th slot. In that spot I will place Sky-Breaking Sword Saint Minyoung." After saying that sentence, a holographic book starts to turn its pages, announcing that the 6th bookmark has been activated. We can see a hologram directly behind Iris. Sparks fly all over the place as Kim Dokcha gets yet another power-up. He explains that the original Sky-Breaking Sword was a skill that can only be used by someone with a female body, and since he is a male, he was never able to activate the skill. However, since he is now controlling Iris's body, he can use it to an extent. A few windows pop up, telling Kim that the level of the character of where the skill originated from is too high. The power and time he will be able to use the skill has been decreased. With this debuff, he is still incredibly powerful, much more powerful than he was just minutes ago. He tells the Wraiths to say their goodbyes as they have had their fun, and it's now time to go home. She jumps in the air, lightning bolts surrounding her body. He activates the exclusive skill, Sky-Breaking Sword, level 11, and swings down on the Wraiths with fire in his eyes. We can see the Wraiths admit defeat, as there is nothing they can do, as their power is capped at 10%. 10 of the original 14 Wraiths are burnt to a crisp, leaving not even dust behind. As the smoke floats up into the air, the fight comes to an end. We can see Iris breathing heavily after her final blow. We then get to see all the death messages from all the overconfident Wraiths. Message windows pop up, telling Kim that he killed 10 Wraiths, so now only 4 remain. We can see the mass production maker's hand consoling the real body of Kim Dokcha as he lays passed out on the table. We can see the look on Anna Croft's face as she watches her plans fail in front of her own eyes, as Iris was supposed to die in the fight they just had, not the opposite. Another message window pops up, telling Kim that some constellations of the Gourmet Association are very curious about the new fable that he has just created. The fight is not over, however, as 4 Wraiths still remain. A dark figure appears behind Iris, and she turns around to face the mysterious person. "I expected you would appear right about now," he says. The figure then takes off their Wraith costume and reveals themselves to be Asmodeus. "You certainly are pulling off something quite interesting," she says.